Welcome Recovery Warrior family. My name is Jay Rizzo. For those of you new to the channel, this is the Recovery Warrior channel. So we got a new guest on this week. To stay tuned for more. Like I said in the past videos, I'll get the views rolling here, the format, the content. So hang in there. Things are different nowadays for me. If you guys don't know, I transitioned out of sober living. I got my own pad now with my lady, and we're doing good. We're doing our own thing, and it's awesome being out of sober living. Like, everything's different. But yeah, this is the new episode. It is the holiday weekend, so I'm really grateful for all you guys who've been subscribing. Got a lot of new subscribers, and if you don't know, I have a Recovery Warrior Facebook page. You can friend me on there, and all my information for the channel is on that Facebook page. So without further ado, I asked the brother to be on, my brother Adrian here. So Adrian, what's up, bro?
What up, dude?
All right.
What's going on, man? Yo, it's an honor you thought of me, bringing me on here.
Oh, yeah.
I like your channel. It's very inspiring, man, and it's an honor to be on here, man.
Yeah, thank you for coming on, bro. It's kind of cold out. It's what, 10 degrees. But...
Dino Osteen.
Yeah. So where you from, bro? And how did you get into recovery?
Well, my name is Adrian Brewer. The way I got into recovery was pretty weird, man. I don't believe in coincidences anymore. So I've been using for the better part of my life, like most of us. I picked up, pretty young, like when I was about 12, and for better or for worse, I used from about 12 to solid, all the way till I was about 32, and I wound up in treatment, long story short. And it did me some good, man. I fell in love with the AA program, and I stayed clean for quite a minute, like I'd say about 3-4 months, but I slowly slipped back down, and about a year and a half ago, September 18th, I wound up in the hospital. I was sick of going to the hospital. I was sick of drinking all the time. I was sick of being broke. And I went to the hospital, and I had messed up my foot. And the dude that worked on my foot, he happened to be an AA guy.
Yeah.
And he gave me a 24/7 book, a pamphlet. Yeah. And so I slowly started finding my way back to the program. One of my brothers, I'm gonna shout him out real quick. One of my brothers, Monty Yellowbird.
There he is.
Yeah.
Shout out to Monty.
Ahoo.
I know that guy. I've seen him around a few times.
Yeah.
Shout out Monty.
Ahoo.
Yeah.
But he came home. He came home from treatment, and he wanted to start his own AA group. And he put his heads together with some other individuals around here, and he started an AA group out at Standing Rock Treatment Center. And,
awesome.
Slowly from there, I've just been recovering one day at a time, getting a little bit better every day, I got a sponsor now, working the steps, and that's how I got to recovery. That's how I got this sober time under my belt.
Yeah. How long have you been sober now? How many months?
Since September 18th.
September?
Last year.
Oh, okay, so over a year.
14 months.
Yeah, how has that been going? Is there ups and downs? Obviously, you're still human, stuff like that. Do you get triggered, or how do you deal with, being in recovery and trying to live a normal life?
Well, obviously, we live in a small community. There's a lot of temptation, and I'm still human. I'm way human, bro. I still put my pants on one leg at a time, just like everyone else, man.
You do?
Yeah. Just like everyone else.
Yeah.
But yeah. But, Creator, man. I have to give it up to Creator, man. When I'm hurting, when I feel like, starting over, when I feel like picking up that needle, when I feel like picking up that half of G, I turn to Creator, And it's progression, not perfection. I really hold true to that, man. That is the way.
That's true.
You can't eat the whole fish, You can't swallow everything at once.
Yeah.
The meetings keep me accountable. My brothers and sisters in the program keep me accountable. Shout out to all my brothers and sisters in the program. That's how I deal with the everyday things, because you can't even check the mail around here without running into a trigger, man. So you gotta have thick skin.
Yeah.
Gotta have thick skin and a strong mind.
Right. Yeah, I noticed, like, I've been here for maybe almost 2 months now. down here in 48s, and you know, it saddens my heart to go uptown and see the people standing outside the grocery store, you know. And you know, you have those people in every community where they just chill, but these guys are begging for change, you know, like, and I know how it is, you know, to be down and out and broken, and they haven't asked me, but I've seen them, and it's like, man, you just feel like grabbing them and taking them under your wing, you know, like, bro, you know, there's a better life out there, you know, but hopefully, you know, things happen to them, you know, just pray for them. I pray for them all the time, like in my daily prayers, you know, I pray for those still struggling, especially out here in the cold. And it's crazy because that's the lifestyle that we lived, you know, in active addiction, where we just survived and just try to get that substance in us, you know. So I know what you mean by triggers. It's crazy, man. Triggers are out there. But yeah. So you were talking about meetings. Is there a big, strong community here in the recovery where they hold meetings like every day, or how does every other day is there meetings, or?
Shout out to the NA people. There's NA meetings too in town. Garrett Medicine, Dugan Melandra. There's a few other ones, Dace Gates, but you know, shout out to them. You know, they have started some meetings around here, and we have meetings every day now, except for Friday. And somebody's promised to fill in that void. There's meetings out at the Standing Rock Treatment Center. There's AA meetings. And then at the Yellow District building, there's AA and NA meetings every week.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I went to there was a big book study that I went to. That was pretty awesome. I mean, like just being in a different community and seeing the different views, different aspect, the different environment, you know, because when I was in Bismarck, it just got so repetitive for me. I mean, shout out to all of them too, you know, in Bismarck, it's just awesome. And you come down here and you see the brothers and sisters, you know, getting it, you know, getting that, I don't know, that aspect of life and recovery, and it's just awesome, made me feel good. Like, obviously I go to a few meetings here and there, you know, but I don't know, that the time that meeting's on Sundays, like I watch football, you know. So, I don't know, I know recovery never sleeps. You should put recovery first, but I don't know, man. I'm just looking forward to getting into the recovery community more, you know, as myself, as an individual. And, you know, I wouldn't mind running a big book. You know, I did go to that big book, and
do it.
Yeah, the roads are getting bad, and I know the two individuals, brothers and sister, you're probably gonna watch this. You know, I told them I'd run that big book if they can't make it down, and my big book is just highlighted with a lot of stuff. But yeah, I was gonna ask you too. So I noticed that I got into the Native American recovery side because when I got sober, it was basically not really church based. It was more or less the big book AA. You know, that's how I got sober. I did the steps, and I found a higher power, and I worked that higher power, you know, through my sponsor and the program. So here it's different because there's a lot of individuals that go the red roadway. You know what I mean? So did that ever influence you to try to get sober that way? Did you ever try that way? Like,
well, of course, man.
Yeah.
I actually think that like half of the stuff in the book and in the treatment, you know, in the treatment dictation is kind of borrowed from Native Americans if you really think about it, man. I really try to get into like wellbriety. You know, there's even like some recordings and documents of Dr. Bill, you know, thanking the Native Americans because he wouldn't have been able to write the big book without him, you know. And so I think in essence, you know, our healing is the strongest, you know. I think the more you know about the Red Road and our ways, the safer and stronger journey you'll have, you know, getting better, you know, because recovery doesn't happen just like that. You know? It's not a magic bullet, you know, it's not a magic potion. It's fucking definitely one day at a time, you know, and you gotta pick yourself up a little bit at a time, you know. Like, say if you were in a bad bike wreck or, you know, a car wreck or you busted something on yourself, you know, you're not just gonna jump back up like a ninja, you know. If you try to jump up too fast, you're gonna fall again hard, you know. And I think that's one of the main things we push in the recovery around here is we don't shoot our wounded, you know. We don't come down on no one. We don't come down on each other. We try to pick each other back up, you know. And I think that's a big part of the native side of it, of the Indian side of it. You know, I
Yeah.
still say Indian, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
still call everyone Indian.
Damn Indians. Nah.
Yeah.
I know what you mean though, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's interesting because I came down here while my fiance got sober, you know, through spirituality and the cultural side, which was crazy because, you know, I didn't even know she was in recovery when I started talking to her. And she basically told me, you know, if you ever use or drink again, I'm not even gonna waste my time on you. She told me that. And then I was like, check this out, because I didn't tell her I was in sober living. And not that I was ashamed, but I just didn't want to put that, yeah, I'm in sober living, you know, I'm sober, you know, be with me now.
Yeah.
So I wasn't like that, but I was like, check this out, okay, I'm a sober living house manager, I've been in recovery, and I'm not even about using or drinking no more. So we kind of intertwined, and it's crazy because she got sober through the Red Road, kind of, not really the Red Road, but just sobering up because she was done with it. And then here I am, big AA thumper, and so now it's just like my mind is it's just all over because he can't get sober that way and he can't get sober this way, which was cool because now I want to see. I'm gonna start a docu-series. Like I'm gonna go to different communities, and I'm just gonna put together videos of just talking to people, talking to elders, talking to people in recovery, go to the rooms, talk to the individuals on the street struggling, you know, try to plant that seed of hope. So maybe, you know, like you can help me out there, you know, in this community. And I don't know if you have ties and.
Well, I think you're onto something, my friend. You see, because recovery programs, AA, NA, all the 12-step programs, you know, they go hand in hand with ceremony, with sweat. Like if you really think about it, AA itself, a meeting is kind of like a ceremony, man. You sit there, everyone gets a chance to say what they need to say, and you all pray together, you know, and you're all probably praying for very similar things, and you're all probably going through very similar things, man. So the spirituality aspect of it is the most powerful for me. That's what made me believe in AA and the book and stuff a little bit. But Wellbriety is something I'm really interested in. And I think that's kind of what you're talking about, man. Because they have their own 12-step program.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard of Wellbriety. I got a few friends on my Recovery Warrior Facebook page, and I'm just getting into that Wellbriety thing. It's not that I was prejudiced against it. It's because I didn't understand it, I didn't know it. But it's pretty interesting to me. Because obviously I'm Native American too, you know, I'm an Indian dude. But I know Big Man, he was talking about, Kyle too. They've been on my channel before, you know, they're my sober brothers up in Bismarck. And they were talking about how they use ties, you know, in their 12 steps and stuff like that. You know, I don't know what it was, but it was like, wow, that's interesting. But at that point, I wasn't even at that, I don't know, moment in my life to even try to understand Wellbriety, you know?
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Have you tried the Wellbriety program or not yet?
Oh, I'm an infant to the Wellbriety program. Like I said, most of my experience in recovery is through AA and through treatment programs, but I enjoy the fresh aspect of it for sure. There's like 3 steps for every color, to my understanding.
Okay.
And you know, I think it's the way to go because it appeals to us, it speaks to us as to who we are as human beings, you know. Because even though we're addicts, alcoholics, we're still human beings, man. We're going through things, you know.
Heck yeah.
And I think I'm really excited, to be honest. They have
that's
sweat.
true.
They have sweat the same night as Big Book now.
Okay.
So if anyone's looking to sweat, come to that Big Book study and we can point you in the right direction.
So that's down here in 48. When is that Big Book study?
Every Wednesday at 5.
Every Wednesday at 5. Shout out to Margot and Frank.
Margot and Frank.
Yeah, they're the ones the brother and sister that put it on. I told them I'd run it too if they couldn't make it, so that's cool. Yeah, if you guys want to know who Frank was, he was on, I think 2 or 3 videos back. I came to they had a little conference here down at the building, and I was going around talking to people, you know. It's crazy because I got asked, I thought it was anonymous, and I was like, no, it has nothing to do with AA, my channel. It's just, I asked permission, and it was pretty cool, you know, especially coming down here, and I knew I was going to be moving down here, so, but yeah. So, like spirituality, are you like, for me, I got into spirituality because I've seen a spirit before. So that influenced me to see the other side of life, you know. We just don't live life and just grasp and grab what we want, you know. There's another side to life. So do you believe in like like spirits in the afterlife and stuff like that? Do you believe in all that, or?
Of course. Well, I was supposed to be a Christian, man. I had Christianity more or less forced upon me when I was younger. And so, you know, I grew up scared a lot, you know, because everyone I loved, you know, a lot of the people I loved were sinners, you know, and I'm a sinner. We're all sinners, according to Catholicism, right?
Right.
And so I was scared everyone I loved was going to hell, you know?
Yeah.
And the more I thought about it, I didn't want to go to heaven because I didn't want to be alone, you know?
Yeah.
I used that to justify the way I was living, man. You know what I'm saying? And so now, as I'm coming to evolve as a person and as a human, I'm starting to see things. It's not just heaven and hell, you know. There's at least three ways to look at everything. I've been told several times by several people, you know. And that's Takash, you know. Everything's, you know, not so dualistic, you know. But, you know, we are responsible for our actions and what we do. But I do believe in spirits, man.
Yeah.
And I think God is moving at all times, man. I think spiritual things are happening all around us at all times. It just depends on how much we're locked into what's going on. And how close we are to the source, if you want to say, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, it seems like some of us are more in tune to, I don't know, I like calling it energy. What was crazy, what blew my mind was like, we were talking about aliens, right? Do you believe in aliens? Are aliens out there? And then people were like, yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a different life out there. But I heard a story. It's like they move faster than us. You know, I was like, well, how come you never seen an alien? You know, because I don't believe in aliens. I was like, how come you never seen an alien? I mean, you see things flying in the sky, and they're like, well, they move faster than us. You know, they zip in and zip out. Sometimes they let us see them, sometimes they don't, which is weird. So it's just like after I got sober, I just started thinking about, you know, the other side of life, you know, energies, and just instead of being a solid mass, you know, we got our spirit in us that moves us, you know, like our brain is moved by electricity and stuff like that, you know. Did you ever think about that, you know?
Actually I have. I'm a big believer in that, man. Like Albert Einstein and Nikola Tesla, they determined that energy never dies. And then there's even studies now. One of my Tahashis put me onto, because there's actually a spark at the point of inception when the sperm enters the egg.
Oh yeah.
So that spark actually exists, you know.
Wow.
So there is a higher plane to existence, you know. Like you're talking about the fourth dimension, I call it, you know.
Yeah, the
like
fourth dimension.
How come we can't catch Bigfoot, right?
Right.
Yeah, a lot of people say he's a spirit, you know.
Yeah.
And he comes in and out of his plane of reality to ours.
Oh hell yeah.
So no, I'm definitely a believer in that, man.
Yeah, I believe in that too because, honest to God, I've seen a Bigfoot. And I don't know if he let me see him. 8 years old, I told that story. You guys can go check it out down below on one of my videos. But yeah, I seen a Bigfoot. Like he just 3 steps and he was over a little tiny hill in a little city. So it intrigued me. Like I don't know. I think Bigfoot is like an interdimensional traveler. You know, he walks through dimensions and he only lets people see, you know, who he wants them to see him, you know. I don't know if it's a him or this being, you know. So I believe in that too. But yeah, that's interesting, the conception, the spark. Because if you think about it, when we're in a hospital and we're dying, they hook us up to machines and they could see our energy waves, you know, the heart rate. And then when you're brain dead, you know, they unplug you and you eventually go. So it's weird, man, like a good weird.
Yeah, it is. I've had some close calls, man.
Have you?
I spent a grip in the hospital.
Yeah.
A few times, you know.
Like on life support and stuff?
I was in some comas.
Dang.
I was in some comas, man. And you know, I don't know exactly what it's like, but I know we go somewhere, man. I can't tell you what your auntie and uncle are doing, or I don't know all that, but I do believe we do go somewhere, man. Yeah. And it's pretty powerful to think about it, man. You know that that I was sick enough that I couldn't deal with what was going on with me, and so I was self-medicating. I think a lot of us are self-medicating. Most of us are self-medicating, you know. And you know, we over-medicate to the point where we're sick.
Yeah.
And I think human beings are sick in general these days as a whole.
Yeah.
And I think the old way of life, the native way of life, I think that's a good way to heal us. I think the closer we get to
Mm.
it, the more whole we're gonna be as a people, and then we'll get closer to that, fourth dimension, whatever you need to call it,
Yep.
And I think that's part of the plan.
Yeah. Yeah, that fourth dimension. Remember we talked about that in that big book study?
Hey, we sure did.
And it's crazy because I asked that question too, like to a few of my guests in the past, what do you believe the fourth dimension is to you? But for me, it was just a new reality of life, a new oversight of every day, because I actually look at life different now, things don't bother me no more like they used to. I still get agitated, I still get angry, I'm a human being, I have emotions, but now I learned how to deal with them. You know what I mean?
Oh, hell yeah.
Are you still like that? Are you like that today? Like,
Yeah, I'm still learning about myself, man. Like, I was codependent. I still am. I'm very codependent, and
yeah.
I'm addicted to life, man. Like,
Yeah.
if you give me a good series, I'll binge watch it one day. I still got that addicted personality. When I find something I like,
Yeah.
I do it all the way, man.
Me too. Yeah, one bad habit I picked back up was vaping. I know it's bad. I don't know. I just picked it back up. I quit and I picked it back up. But yeah, I have addictive personalities too, man. I'm an addict. I'm an alcoholic. I do what helps me and makes me happy. I drink a lot of coffee now. I drink a lot of water. Oh well, it is what it is. But yeah, so you said you have a sponsor. How does that work for you? Do you meet him every week or every day? Do you talk to him? Do you call? Because I know every sponsorship is different. I mean, do you like?
Well, this harkens back to what I had said earlier, man, about coincidences and creator being in your life.
Hmm?
I was at an AA conference up in Biz, recovery connection, I think it was called. I can't remember the name of it. But
Recovery Reinvented or?
No, that was the big one with Dougie Burgo.
Oh yeah.
It was a smaller one.
Huh.
But
Recovery Connection, huh?
I think that's what it was
Yeah,
called.
I think there's one up there called that, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I met my sponsor, because I went to the meeting, man, and like,
Mhm.
meetings are kind of like powwows, I think, or concerts.
Yeah.
You go to some, you just got that energy, you could feel it in the room. And I went to a damn good meeting, man. And the guy that chaired it, I asked him to be my sponsor, and he said, yeah. And he's from up north. He's from Parcel.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know all the rules. Are we supposed to shout out our sponsor?
Yeah, you can shout out their, but just say their last initial. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah. Shout out to Eddie F. Yo.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
He's working me through the steps. I was really, I'll tell you something, man. I was really resistant to getting into the steps. Like, I was going to the meetings, and I was like, I didn't want to sponsor. Then I realized it's like I was trying to put something together without the instructions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was
Wing it.
Yeah. I was improvising. I was trying to build what was on the Lego box, but it wasn't coming out the way I wanted it to.
Yeah.
So now he's pushing me through the steps, and man, they're working me.
Awesome.
They're working me, man.
Yeah.
Making me realize a lot of things I would have never realized before.
Yep. That's cool. Yeah, that's how I met my sponsor. He was chairing a meeting.
Yeah.
And we related on relationships. It's crazy. I don't know if you know him, Ansel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Ansel's my sponsor. Yeah, shout out to Ansel out there. He's from here, Standing Rock Res.
I know that guy.
Yeah. I didn't even know who he was, bro. Like, because we're all parts of the, a couple organizations together. And he was sharing a meeting, and he started talking about a relationship, and I just got out of ugly, toxic marriages. So I was like, man, I'm gonna ask that guy to be my sponsor. And it was crazy because after a meeting, he was so busy, he was just running this meeting and chairing, and he just ran by me. And I was like, hey, bro, you want to be my sponsor? And he's like, yeah, read this, read that, give me a call. And then he headed out, I'm like, cool, I got a sponsor, yeah. So I went home, and I was like, what the hell? I didn't even get his number.
Oh, man.
Who the hell is this guy? I was thinking. So maybe a meeting or two later, I've seen him again. I was like, bro, I didn't even get your number, man. He's like, oh, shit, we started laughing. It just ballooned from there, blossomed from there, So are you at the point in your life where you sponsor yet or not yet?
Well, I figured out, that's part of this,
Mm-hmm.
And I realized, like, what was I really doing? I was just going to meetings,
Yeah.
and then you figure it out, it just hit me, big man helped me figure it out. You
Yeah.
know? He's like, you can't just ride off into the sunset. It's like, so you gotta give it back, man.
Yeah.
And so, I'm hoping to get to the point to where I can sponsor pretty soon. I'm almost there, man.
Yeah.
But because we need it,
Oh,
man.
Yeah.
We need it.
Yeah. Freely, what is it? How does that go? We freely give away what was given to us, or something like that. You know.
You gotta, in order to keep it, you gotta give it away.
Yeah. Exactly.
I believe.
Yeah, Big Man was a big influence in my sobriety and my reality. Like, cause I know him from shout out to Big Man. I know him from high school. Like he was like 3 or 4 years older than me, but it was crazy because we went to Arizona and he's my grand sponsor. So he's my sponsor's sponsor. You know what I mean? The lineage goes back to Big Man. You know, it's crazy because I shouted him out in a big meeting down in Arizona, a big men's group meeting. There's like 100 of us in there. I went up to the podium to talk in front of all of these, wonderful men in recovery, and shout out to my sponsor and my grand sponsor, Big Man. And they're just like, they just stood there, and that guy was like, stand up. And then they just sat there and they just smiled and kind of waved. Then I was like, I got back to my seat, I hobbled down because I was still busted up. And after that meeting, I was like, Big Man, how come you didn't stand up, man? I kind of felt bad. He's like, well, if you think about it, man, it wasn't us who got you through the, we didn't do nothing for you. We just helped you. It was you and God. Then I was like, like, oh my God, huh? That's true, man. Because it was just, they helped me get through the big book. They helped me get through situations, but in all reality, it stemmed back to the foundation of just me and God. Do you believe that today? Like, is that your view in the recovery yet, or?
Look, this is the way I was feeling, man. Like I said, I went through some shit, man. I had my excuses to self-medicate just like everyone else. And,
yeah.
I was raised to believe a certain way, pray a certain way. So if I stuck with that way, I was going to hell. I'm a sinner. I'm no good. all that stigma.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't know God, and I thought He was dead.
Oh, okay.
And I was busted up,
Yeah.
And He slowly started revealing Himself to me again,
Yeah.
And you can't hide from Him, man.
Right.
As much as you want to.
Yeah.
But He's still like throwing me breadcrumbs or shining a flashlight from me or something like that.
Yeah.
And like the closer I get to it, the better I feel, and the less I become dependent on my healthy addictions now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like and try to treat people better, try to do better for people. Getting a little buzz off opening a door for someone. Or sharing your last cigarette with someone, or something small, or getting my kids something they didn't ask for, or doing something nice for another human being. Now that's really where I get my buzzes off of.
Exactly.
And I feel like the closer I get to the source, the better I'm gonna feel. The closer I get to the conch, the better I'm gonna feel. And that's what I'm learning, man. That's where I'm at. I still go to Catholic church, maybe call it Catholic guilt or something. I still go.
Yeah.
I get into it, and ceremony is starting to become a thing for me.
Yeah, it's grabbing you, huh?
It is.
Ceremony wise.
It is.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I grew up with Catholic religion shoved down my throat, so it steered me the other way, But when I did that, I was lost. I was just floating freely, trying to run my own show, like they say, but it didn't work. I just turned to substances, like you said, self-medicate. And it's crazy because, I don't know. I don't even know why I started drinking, I started using. I lost my dad when I was 2, so I blamed that. God, you took my dad. I'm going to show you, I keep drinking and drinking, but in all reality, it wasn't that. It was just, I'm an alcoholic addict. I have that addictive mindset, That's good you said that earlier because that's what we do, We just find freedom in substances, situations, relationships, attraction, I just heard a lot of people say that too, it's just, but there is a way out, you know what I mean? So, I wanted to ask you about, you were in a coma, did you dream? Did you see anything, or was it just, you don't remember? Because that's interesting to me.
Oh man.
You don't remember?
Well, I was in two of them, man.
Mhm.
I'm not really trying to war story, but
Yeah.
I did a lot of something. I didn't know what it was. It was shiny and it was thick and it was good. And I started arguing with the wall
Ah.
for like a long time, and someone called the ambulance for me. And the last thing I remember is my paramedic gripping me, asking me if I was religious, and every day, can we cuss on you?
Yeah.
Every the asshole, I said, not particularly. She said,
Mhm.
well, do you know the Lord's Prayer? I said, yeah.
Yeah.
She said, well, you might want to say it. And I didn't even get through the whole prayer. Then I was not here, man. I seen, I can't describe it to you, man.
Yeah.
It's undescribable. It's
Wow.
unexplainable. But we do go somewhere, man.
Yeah.
I wake up every now and then. I woke up when they pulled the tube out of my throat.
Yeah.
I woke up and I thought I seen a whole bunch of relatives sitting next to me, but it was just my sister and my dad, they said.
Yeah.
They came to check on me for a little bit. But when I looked at them, I thought I seen a whole group of relatives.
Wow.
And so when I really started waking up, I asked where everyone was that was
Uh-huh.
sitting with me. And they said, just your sister and your dad, they left a long time ago.
Ooh.
So, they came to check on me.
Yeah.
And, that's a harsh feeling, man, when no one comes to check on you, man.
Right.
It's a harsh feeling, You realize who your real friends are,
Right.
And then when you get home, and then who's happy to see you and who's not, you gotta figure it out
Exactly.
too, man. You
Yeah.
gotta figure out where you stand with the world,
Yeah.
That was the first one I should have learned, right?
Yeah.
And then the second one, I decided to drink the needle user out of me.
Uh-huh.
Because I started getting good jobs and I was like, oh, I'm providing for my family. I went to treatment. I deserve a beer, I deserve some whiskey. I deserve some vodka. And so I was getting money and I was supplying my own habit. So I justified it.
Yeah.
And so I wound up to the point where I needed it or else I'd have a seizure, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I was drinking my way through work. I was a blackjack dealer. I was dealing cards drunk.
Yeah, exactly. It's fun, huh?
But I ended up having a seizure. And this one was way rougher, man.
Ooh.
The first one, I was like a weird feeling, like almost like floating in water or something. I don't know.
Wow.
But this one was rough, man. I'm not compared to like a bumpy car ride.
Yeah.
A lot of darkness, a lot of things I didn't understand.
Ooh.
I really didn't. I remember a little bit of when I first got there, and then sleep, and then when I woke up, I had tubes in my chest for dialysis because they couldn't find any veins because of how much I was drinking. So I had the dialysis through here, through my heart, and I was on all kinds of tubes, man. And
Yeah.
it was, that one was rough, man.
Yeah.
And it didn't go exactly the first one went.
Yeah.
I came out and I felt like, I felt like I just got thrown out of an airplane or something, like I landed hard.
Mm-hmm.
Is a good way to put it. And I don't know, it was rough though.
Yeah.
I just know we go somewhere for sure.
Yeah.
I went to the rougher side of things in that one.
Yeah.
And then, I think when you're in that state of mind, you're not eating, you're not taking care of yourself, you're staying up for long periods of time, you do get closer to the other side, It's kind of like the inverse of a blecha or, when you go out on a hill.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
but you probably see the rougher side of things, the wrong side of things,
Yeah.
And, that's what I think,
Oh, yeah.
So you do get close to it when you're in that state of mind.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe that too. And our body does just continue to move even though we're not in our physical, well-being. Yeah. That's crazy, man. That's cool. But yeah, I'm intrigued with all that now. Like the Bigfoots, the UFOs, the spirits and stuff like that. That's why I asked you. Because it intrigues me and it just, I don't know, like I said, once I hit recovery, it's like a whole different view of life now, because it's what helps me, the spiritual side, the other side of just living life, But yeah, thank you, Age, and yeah, we'll have to get together and jam some bass, you know what I mean? But I think that will conclude the show. Do you have any shout outs for anybody in our recovery community out there?
Res Recovery, Margot, Jana, Monty, of course, all the people that come to AA, Tara, Nikki, Mom, Dad, love you.
Oh yeah. All right. All right, guys. That is the Recovery Warrior channel. I am not the Recovery Warrior. Everybody who's on my channel, we are warriors in recovery because we fight this battle every day. You know, if you hit that wall, if you're looking over that ledge, you know, if you hit that fence, reach out. You know, there is a way out. You're not alone. We're all in this fight together. That's what this channel is about. And if you're watching this long, my name is Jay Rizzo. Hit me up on the Recovery Warrior channel on Facebook. I'm going to tag a lot of people in this video because Adrian knows a lot of people. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. And if you like what you see, hit that like. If you want to see more, hit that subscribe. Love you. Bye. Cool.